Welcome back. Today we start a new series, The Pacific. What I do know about this series, it takes place in World War II and they're Marines. And I know that from the comments people left from my Band of Brothers reactions. If you haven't seen that, I have watched Band of Brothers. I highly suggest you check it out and then watch my reactions. If you haven't seen it, if you have seen the show, go see it. It's by far my most popular and most watched series on the channel, and I get why. It's an incredible series. I did change the lighting to red, white, and blue for this series. I did start to do it towards the end of Band of Brothers, but I didn't, really realize I should start changing the lighting for each show until recently. But I'm ready to get into this. Before we begin, I do want to remind you that you can vote on what I watch, see full-length reactions, and get early YouTube edits on my Patreon through the link in the description. If not, just make sure you subscribe or leave a thumbs up on this video if you do enjoy it. Really helps my channel reach a wider audience, and I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. But now, it's time for the show. Let's go.
A date which will live in infamy.
December 7th, 1941.
Tom Hanks again?
Within half a year of Pearl Harbor, Japanese controlled one of the largest territorial empires in human history.
Damn.
We were never told that we were going into combat. They told us that we were going to an island that the Japanese held.
Okay, so we're getting monologues and speaking like Band of Brothers. Awesome. Yes, I love that format. John Barenthal, he's the man. The way the drawings are just turning into the actual scene with the actual actors, it's awesome.
I joined the Marines.
Well, if I don't see you before you go, take care of yourself.
Maybe I'll write you.
All right.
Something tells me he's gonna want to write to that girl. It's gonna get so crazy. It's gonna give him some sort of relief.
Do battle with the Japs on tiny specks of turf that we have never heard of. Non-commissioned officers. You are the sinew and the muscle of the Corps.
NCO's playing a big part, just like in Band of Brothers, man.
The victory will have been won by you. Chevrons on your sleeves and the instincts in your guts and the blood on your boots.
Marines are cold. The thing is, Easy Company, they were the most relentless paratroopers you'll ever find, so it's not fair to compare them to anyone else. Like, they're their own thing.
My brother John, you've been there, rough and ready for years. Just get the job done and come home to us. Salud.
Salud. Can you imagine all the holidays and Christmases and homes that had that exact conversation and dinners and speeches and those feelings right before everyone went off and left?
You hardly packed a thing.
Marines will outfit me with everything from bayonets to socks.
Your mother said I was a fool not to buy a Ford, which is not right.
I'm not confused, right? Like, he is leaving for war and his dad's just like not acknowledging him. That is what's going on, right? It must be hard, that's why.
Goodbye, son.
Come on, man. You got to give him the guy hug. It's the handshake. Then you pull it in. Come on, that's your son going to war.
Eugene, I'm sorry.
Looks like we got somebody that's too sick to serve. Has a disease, maybe an ailment. Bad heart.
Mama's still there.
Oh, yep, heart murmur.
The boy's disappointed.
I'm his mother.
He's gonna tell me this dude sneaks off and still joins the war anyway with his heart murmur.
I wish we were going together. Yeah, well, you take care of yourself, Greaser. You don't have to worry about me.
All your friends heading off too? Yeah, see? It's just a whole bunch of things.
I can't hear myself think.
Yeah, well, at least they give you a good meal.
Yeah, like the electric chair.
Like the electric chair, damn.
The treacherous bastards may have started this war, but I promise you, we will finish it when you see the Japs. Kill them all!
Yeah! That's what you would hear before you're about to storm the beach. Just some let's go out there and let's do what we do. Wreck shit. We are the Marines. That could be their motto, to be honest with you. We wreck shit.
Corporal Dobson says the Japs might have poisoned the coconuts.
They poisoned 1 billion coconuts?
Excuse me?
Poison the coconuts. Didn't hear about that being a thing. It'd be wild if it was true, though. Those are some pretty elaborate makeshift encampments. Going into the ground, looks like a whole little apartment down there. This area definitely has a more tropic feel compared to the countryside that we saw in Band of Brothers. Okay, is that what I thought it was? One guy was decapitated and another was castrated.
I went to take a piss. Somebody opened up.
Oh, my friendly fire, come on. Of course, stuff like that is gonna happen. And they're just pushing on like, damn, we killed our medic.
It was a fucking Jap ship. That's Admiral Turner blowing the whole Jap fleet to the bottom of the channel.
So they're attacking us from the water? And they're trying to break our forces in the water to come at the land and reclaim it?
They couldn't control the fire, so they scuttled it. Yeah, well, she went down with half the battalion's ammo, most of our grub and medical supplies, and all our asswife.
So there were a lot of reasons why the Navy were there and they were able to bring in supplies and shit. Yeah, didn't even think of that.
Smoking lamps out. Smoking lamps out.
Alright, I thought that dude carrying that was a camera the whole time. I had no idea that was the hold of a gun. Of course that's what it's for, Mike. That's crazy. They're just holding two parts of that big cannon. I gotta see this thing in action.
Destroy any letters you have with any dates or addresses.
I don't know how they could use that, but I'm sure they can in some way, even though I can't see it. Oh shit! What the fuck?
God damn it!
This dude is terrified. Holy shit!
Walk 'em right, goddammit! Walk 'em right!
They're basically trapped. They're getting flanked and they're on the water. They're on a little island. Just lit all these people up. Oh my god, look at all these bodies. What the fuck? The whole beach. Scores and scores of people. Imagine being on that gunner, shooting into the darkness. You think you're getting a good amount of people. Then when the fighting stops and daylight comes, you gotta say, holy shit, I stopped all these guys. But then it's like, I'm the Grim Reaper. Oh, shit. Oh my god, man. Damn. Just put him out of his misery, man. God, I get why they're fucking with him, though. They just saw, like, a whole bunch of their guys get mutilated, and then they were trying to help him, and then they got killed after trying to help him. Oh my god, look at the blood and shit. Jesus.
They got Abbott, Martin, McDougal. Stanley's blinded.
I forgot what I was talking about.
And Jergens. Sir. It was a good job moving around last night. Got you promoted to corporal.
I have a feeling there's gonna be a whole bunch of promotions after each episode. See, man, see? Clearly his daughter made that for him. Man has a family.
There are things men can do to one another that are sobering to the soul. It's one thing to reconcile these things with God, but another to square it with yourself.
And that's the thing we didn't really get too much of in Band of Brothers.
Colonel Fuller, where you heading? Tokyo. Care to join us? The real Marines are here now, and I've been here for some time.
You're going to Tokyo? What? But yeah, back to what I was saying before. This dude got actual pictures and stuff from a kid, you know, in the first episode. It looks like they might be layering that on more than Band of Brothers did with just winners with that one episode.
Truth is, you're the lucky one, Sid. You'll never have that nagging thought that you let your family, your friends, and your country down, because that's what I'm afraid of.
Who's that letter from?
Hey, finish it. I'll leave you knowing that, like the poem says, you're a better man than I am, Gunga Din. Your humble and obedient servant, Eugene Slivich.
Yep, the kid from back home. Oh, shit, with the heart murmur.
Happy birthday, dear Phyllis. Happy birthday to you.
How fucked are you now? How fucked are you now? You're surely fucked now.
Oh, man. Whoa, that episode was way too fast. Way too fast. That went by like nothing. How long are these episodes? Band of Brothers was definitely longer than this. I mean, we even got combat in the first episode. Damn, that felt like it flew by. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was The Pacific Episode 1. How fucked are you now? They want that in our minds watching the series. They want that to be the thing that we hear at the end of the first episode, because it just reiterates you don't know what you're getting into. 18 years old at that. They jumped right into it, episode 1, how the soldiers were exactly that, soldiers, not these evil entities, faceless beings. And I was thinking while they were fighting and gunning them down in the dark, I was thinking like, man, almost every Vietnam movie or show or some iteration I've seen, you don't really see their faces. You don't really see their expressions. You just see them getting killed, usually from a distance. I know in Band of Brothers, we kind of saw the soldiers that were killing up close. A lot of them were killed when they surrendered, so you got to see their face. Conversations were had with them. There's no big language barrier. A lot of our soldiers spoke German and a lot of them understood English. I didn't think we were going to get that in the series, but when they were playing with the guy shooting and he took off his hat and, you saw him and he like walked towards them in the water all slow. I know what he looks like now. And then the backpack with the woman's picture and his book and something that clearly a child had made for him. Episode 1, they are giving it to us like we're not going to pretend like that these weren't people too. Granted, they were fighting for the wrong side. I don't know how fucked they had to be to want to side with the Germans in this shit. Maybe they didn't necessarily agree with what Hitler was doing, but it was just a way for them to take over this part of the world, and Hitler had their back and they just let them do them and they'll do what they do over here. I don't know. One thing I'm hoping we get in this series is we see what weapons the Japanese use, what tactics they use. Obviously suicide bombing, what they did for food, what their encampments look like, which we did get when they arrived. I hope we get some of that in more detail. You're on an island. Granted, they have the upper hand. They're closer to Japan, but Marines aren't to be fucked with. We're not going to make it easy for them. As detailed by the littered bodies all over the beach. They had the numbers. And they failed. But getting a closer look into weapons that they had and vehicles, aircraft, watercraft, very interested to see that. And even for us, I want to see what differences there are between the aircraft and weapons and vehicles and tactics, maybe food, between Easy Company and what was happening in Europe compared to what's happening in the Pacific. And these are Marines, so that alone might make stuff different, not just the fact that they're in a different part of the world. The similarities it has to Band of Brothers, obviously the format, the intro, the title card, how we're getting someone narrating along the way. The storyline's kind of following one guy. It might jump around. You get that feeling. But we're getting a good feel for the supporting characters. And, Tom Hanks speaking at the beginning. There's a lot of things to make it feel like Band of Brothers. There aren't really too many, like Band of Brothers was like a ton of future Academy Award nominees and just people that are staples in pop culture now. And in this one, no one's too known. I do recognize a few actors. One of the actors is on the show Daredevil. He plays Wesley. Another actor was in the X-Men franchise. He played the young William Stryker. I do recognize them, but I don't recognize anyone else. Oh, and John Bernthal. Of course, I remember him. And another guy that's next to him. He looks pretty famous, but I don't know anyone by name. Only John. Also, the first episode, dealt with training camp and, the bond between them. And in this one, it just kind of threw us right into the Pacific. And the bonds are probably going to be formed along the way. Winners already had some type of ranking. We actually saw him get a promotion in the first episode. In this one, it looks like the guy came straight here from America. And, well, he went to the Marines first, obviously, to train. He doesn't have any type of standing. He's I don't think they consider him grunts, but he's a private. He's regular. He's at the lowest level. I don't know the words. I'm sorry. I don't know the rankings. One of the differences we're probably going to see, this was just the first episode. Actually, it's already been proven. It's going to be more intense. The effects are the practical effects, the blood. I feel like the gore, it's going to be more piled on in this series. I mean, the Japanese were brutal. The Nazis were brutal, but the Japanese, they had kamikaze planes, right? That was them. Around Pearl Harbor. I still haven't seen the Pearl Harbor movie either. I do know about the events of Pearl Harbor. It's 10 years after Band of Brothers. Technology from 2001 to 2010 goes a long way, especially with Steven Spielberg's involved. From what we saw, what I thought I saw was a guy was decapitated and another guy was castrated, and they put that guy's privates in the guy's mouth. That is what I saw, right? If not, then I just saw something wrong, but it kind of seemed implied that that's what was going on. And that's over the top. And that's why I get why they were playing games shooting with that guy, because they just saw what y'all did to these guys back there and they had their American flag, so they were somewhat involved. It's not even about thinking what if they did that to me. They were probably dead when they did it. and people finding you. It's not even about all that. The thing that bothers me about, because it's war, you know, people are going to be fucked in the head, do what they do. The only problem to that is now it's going to put us in a mind state where we're going to want to match your brutality. And you're kind of going to have to. This is definitely giving me that Apocalypse Now feeling where you experience brutality, and you're expected not to become a monster. But that's asking too much of someone. They just did that, and you're going to ask me not to at least shoot and play with this guy who's running back and forth? Please. And they just blew up someone that picked up our guy. We were probably trying to help them, maybe interrogate him. I don't know. But they did that shit, and I'm supposed to not at least play with their lives? I can't see myself doing that, but I can't say I wouldn't. I'm not there. This isn't real. This is a naive take. I'm not in the mind state of war. This isn't 1942. This isn't us trying to save the world. This isn't... See, this is starting to hurt with my head like it did when I was watching Apocalypse Now, for sure. It's the first episode, Mike. I gotta pace myself, but it is good that I am basically going to get an updated and visual lesson, while it all may not be factual and accurate like Band of Brothers, on the events that went on in the Pacific during World War II. I don't know too much. I did know at least some stuff going into Band of Brothers about fighting Nazis, Germany, the weaponry, you know, D-Day, Normandy, that they were basically in Holland and Belgium, but I don't know anything about the Pacific. None. I didn't know they had the map that they showed at the beginning. I didn't know they were planning on taking, well, they basically had control of that entire area. Damn, heading for Australia. They were really trying to take over the world. I'm ready to be entertained, informed, and hopefully not repulsed by what I see, just from the actual blood itself and the axe itself. Hopefully we don't see people on either side take it too far. But this is war, man. What the hell is too far? If anything stood out to you in this episode, or there was anything I might have missed, please tell me about it in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed watching my reaction. All I ask is that you leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can also vote on what I watch, see full-length reactions, and get early YouTube edits on my Patreon through the link in the description. You guys are the best. We're a family. You know that. That's it for me. Until next time, spread peace and love. I'm out. How fucked are you now?